I'm completely redesigning it
Yeah.
and making it look better, fixing up the script and all that stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. I remember when I actually did it, it got into such a mess at the end because I had this big. This is actually how I worked on that game. So if you guys don't know what Survive the Day is, it's basically a choose your own adventure. Kind of like if you're familiar with the choose your own adventure book, yada yada yada. What do you choose to do? Like you're on a spaceship. Where should we go in the spaceship? Do we go to Mars? Do we go to Venus? If you want to go to Mars, go to page 42. If you want to go to Venus, go to page 23. And it's a book where you just keep making choices. They usually have about 20 endings to them. So Survive the Day was basically a choose your own adventure book in Histocom. But it wasn't a book and stuff. It's just you read a bit of text and then it has like 3 or 4 choices at the bottom of what you want to do next. And basically you start off, you wake up in the morning and you've got to try and survive the whole day without dying. But it's a very bad day because all these things are continuously happening. The whole day is trying to kill you. So I literally had to do this big, massive piece of paper, and I was drawing like all these flow charts and stuff of what choice leads to what thing, what leads to this, to that, to that. And oh my gosh, it got so messy and so confusing. And then shortly, I never finished it. So yeah, that's what that was. Was there anything else you wanted to say, Lemon?
Not really. I just wanted to get out there that I was helping with that.
Yeah, no probs. That's
I have a question.
okay. So wait a sec. We will come back. I'll go down the list with everybody again. However, before we do that, we're just going to make sure we cover everybody in the list, and then we'll come back to extra questions and stuff.
Yes,
So
because I have a question though, yeah.
yeah, what was that?
I have a question.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll just cover these. I think 2 people have a question. We'll just cover them quickly, and then we'll move on. So what's up?
How long will this be?
Generally the chats seem to go for about 2 hours now,
All right.
but you don't have to stay. Like you're more than welcome to stay, or you're more than welcome to leave early. It's completely up to you.
Is it
Okay.
all right if I'm AFK with my mic muted?
Yes, that's okay. I'll just skip you if I get up to you and I don't get a response. Okay.
Just wanted
So
to make sure.
yeah, that's okay. So I think MarkVD just had one question before we move on to the that person under math with.
What kind of SSD do you have? I'm planning to get a Samsung EVO1, 250 gigabytes.
Oh, what kind of solid state drive do I have in my computer? You
Yes.
know what? To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know why I don't know. Wait, device manager. Let me just go into device manager. I'll just pull that up and we'll just quickly find out for a second. Where are my drives? Disk drives. Okay, I've got a Samsung SSD PM851, 2.5 7 millimeter, 512 gigabytes, and it runs really well. I've had no problem. Did the audio stop working?
I'm not sure if it's going to be easy to install an SSD on a custom-built computer.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really like I don't have any skills in custom building computers. But if there's anyone here that wants to answer him, go ahead.
Not
Well,
that
see,
hard.
as long as your case has a 2.5-inch mounting bay for an SSD, you should be fine. And even if you don't, you can buy a cheap 3.5-inch to 2.5-inch drive adapter and install it just like any other hard drive. It's really not that hard.
And I can't seem to find a way to migrate the OS only.
Um,
Like ignore the
that's not really too
libraries.
sure about.
Oh, I see. So you've got like an operating system on your hard drive, with all your files and stuff, and you want that on an SSD for like faster booting or something.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, just moving that.
Yeah,
Because for some reason it takes like 4 minutes to reach to the desktop.
Whoa, that is really. What kind of drive do you currently have? That sounds like Diana's old computer running
Mine is Western Digital Green 500 gigabytes. It's 87 gigabytes remaining.
Yeah, okay. Have you tried what do you call it? I'm trying to think. Is there a problem with doing a fresh install on a solid state drive and just transferring your files?
Just haven't
No,
bought
there
it yet.
shouldn't be.
Okay. Because I mean
Unfor-
that's an option for you. You could always, get a solid state drive, install the operating system on it, then just transfer. Oh, but wait a sec. Then you'd have the operating system on the hard disk drive too. Oh, but then, okay.
What I want to do
So I have to find.
is
So I have to migrate it to the SSD.
Yeah.
so what I'm kind of thinking is maybe move all your files over to another partition on your drive, and then keep the main operating system drive and migrate that over and
That's a good
expand it to the full size of the disk.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a good idea, A Shifter. So I'd probably recommend MarkVD look into that. Although at the same time, there's
Because
I've
I'm
thought out
afraid
there
of
that
something going wrong.
yeah, well, I guess if you do it in like a clone, like if you make a clone of your current drive and put it on the SSD, I mean, migrate all the files you need onto something else, then do a clone. Because if you do a clone, then you've still got, your backup drive in case something did go wrong.
That's true. Having a backup redundancy, that's always nice. Peace of mind.
Anyway, with that said,
Alright.
I'd probably recommend to, go on some, computer tech forums and stuff like that just to get, a few more opinions and see what they say.
And hope this Samsung only does the Micro OS only thing.
Yeah,
Since it's
exactly.
defaulted that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we are going to now move on to, I think Acid Rain had one more thing he wanted to say before we move on to that guy below, MathWiz.
Oh, I was gonna make a comment about the survive the day thing.
Comments about what?
The survive the day thing to Limpomo.
Okay, the day thing. Tell us about the day thing.
Every day in survive the day, the day in survive the day is like every day to me.
Oh,
Whoa.
exactly. Because you have a lot of bad luck. Oh wait, no, was that the animations guy that has the bad luck, or was it you?
Yeah, I have some bad luck.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. So you probably you can do some inspiration for Survive the Day. In fact, Survive the Day, just so you guys know, is it's supposed to get super hard by the end. The only way to actually survive the day is because basically it's Armageddon. It's the end of the world. But you only find out it's the last day of Earth at like 3 p.m. or something. So you've got to try and actually escape onto a rocket that's meant to save just a small select of smart people and stuff, and then you go up and try and escape like that way, and humans rebuild on Mars, but you've got to stay hidden on the rocket because all these people will try and kill you because you snuck onto the rocket. So again, that's what it's very hard to survive the day. So hopefully it's not like that for you in real life, Acid Rain.
Oh yeah, it is a lot.
Okay, so there we go. For Acid Rain,
Something
every
else about
day.
Survive the Day. I'm also going to be working with the other time hack devs to finish up Survive the Day actually with all more choices and everything.
Yeah, awesome. Just noticed that it can get very, very hard. I mean, sure, you start off with at the beginning one bit of story, like it's usually just a paragraph. I try and keep it as short as possible. One paragraph, four choices, but then that splits into the four choices being four different paragraphs with four choices each. Then you literally you're only 2 levels deep and you've already got 16 different splits in the story. So yeah, you got to
Yeah.
got to be careful. Look for story connectors. Look for ways to link you know, you get back home and it kind of links to previous stuff. Otherwise, if you keep expanding too much, you get to the point where it's like, okay, 16 times 4, you're at 64 now, and now you've got to write choices for 64 different things, and then it gets too hard. So you've got to really be careful with that. Try and do a lot of endings, dead ends in that. Otherwise,
Boy, my random QD32 score is bad for my hard drive. It's less than a
Yeah.
megabyte per second or something. But the sequential write speed and read is between like 60 and 70 megabytes per second.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
I've actually looked through the histocom source code, and apparently there are two options at the beginning: go back to sleep and sleep until 8 a.m. And I'm just wondering what the difference is between those two. I know what the 8 a.m. one leads to. What were you planning for the other sleep option?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry, that was coded 7 years ago. I can't remember back to what I was thinking 7 years ago. But you can obviously get rid of, like, if you don't know where it goes, and that's very similar, just kill that option out or replace it with something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that. Anyway, we are now going to move on to, I'm going to try
Rowan
my,
Knight.
yeah, there we go, Rowan Knight.
You got it right.
Only because the lemon guy helped me.
Yeah. Rohan Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, so at first I'm just going to explain why I had to leave the last chat. My dinner was ready and I didn't really have a choice since my family sits together. And yeah, trying to think, what was I going to say again? My memory's really bad, sorry.
That's okay.
Anyways, so I just want to say as well, I'm going to go AFK and make my breakfast because this time I should have no issues of time. I just have an issue that I haven't had breakfast yet.
Okay. Well, what you can do is, if you want, you can tell us something quickly now. Then you can go and have breakfast, and hopefully you finish the breakfast quick. You can come join us for the challenge and maybe be featured on YouTube Millionaire.
Yeah, so, oh, that's right. That's what I was going to say. I forgot. So, I was just going to say that, I forgot to mention I played Java last time.
Oh,
Because I really like Java.
yeah,
Java?
nice. Okay.
Though I mainly just go to Minecraft servers because that's the easiest thing to do, and yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, at the same time, though, like that's a step. That's a coding language that opens a few doors to different places and gets you used to coding as well. So, I mean, I know I learned Java. I kind of gave up a long time ago. But around 2008, I was trying to teach myself Java, and then I just scrapped it. But like, I got a little bit past Hello World. Anyway.
I just noticed Wayne Room changed name to Hot Room 1.
I have the issue where I can't get past Hello World on other programming languages. I can only really code in Java.
Oh, so you feel like you kind of that's the only thing you can kind of
At
grasp
Room
right
1.
now, Java.
Yeah, if I'd started off with C++, I'd be good, but I didn't.
Okay. Well, you know what? You can always expand. The only thing I don't like about Java is the fact that it was kind of more used in the past, but now it's got all these security issues and stuff. You go to websites, half the Java stuff I try and go on now doesn't even work. You got to try and enable it, like in your system. You've got to go change the security settings because by default it's strongly secure and stuff.
I feel
And
like
some
I feel like
browsers,
I heard you say that in some OS first timer video.
Java.
I guess I can see why Java's now being phased out in Minecraft.
Yeah, the better of the Pocket Edition versions. PC version is still good, and I much prefer PC version to anything else.
Yeah, speaking of Minecraft servers for you, they've just announced at E3 that they're gonna bring servers to consoles, I believe.
I don't like consoles. I'm a PC gamer. I'm a PC gamer
I don't even
only.
go buy consoles.
How long ago did they
There's-
announce that,
there's no-
considering you're watching E3 right now?
The conference was on a few hours ago. It finished some hours ago, so yeah. I don't know when they announced that. You'll probably need to check the video on demand version for that.
Okay. Well, anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna if the see, this is how bad my memory is. I think it's Rohanti.
It's Rowanite!
Yeah, see, Rowanite.
Rowanite.
There we go. See,
Rowanite!
that is how fast it goes. That is how fast it goes. It's just names. I can remember what like people are saying and stuff, but it's your names that are hard to remember. Anyway, what we're going on to is did you have anything else to say before we go to the duck quack guy?
Nope. I'm just going to go straight AFK and make my breakfast.
Okay, make that breakfast.
Excuse me, Phil?
Yeah.
Michael said in the chat that he'd like to say something that is very important to him, so I just wanted to know if you'd, let him say whatever he'd like to say real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'll just say it in voice chat. I just met someone. Uh, she's on Discord, and her username is Derpy. She's on the ShiftWest server. I'm not sure if she's here, but I wanted to say it here because it kind of hits me at home. She's a programmer just like me, and she's losing her vision just like me. And well, for her, it's gotten to the point where she wears a blindfold because her vision is basically too hard to see with, and it's more convenient to just be blind,
Completely
like
right.
fully blind, like
Wow.
No glasses?
and like this hits home for me because, well, I may end up that way at some point, and well, I'm not sure if she'll ever see or hear this video, um, but if she does, I want her to know that, well, I really feel for her, and I wish her the best of luck, and I will spend the rest of my life figuring out how to get around that because
Yeah, I feel really bad for her.
Yeah, I mean that's
I feel
really sad
bad
to
for
hear.
everyone.
I wish her luck.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
no
I think
glasses either?
Everybody currently in this chat here, I'm sure we all, really, really feel for her and everything, and we really hope that somehow, science will improve to the position where we're able to let people. In fact, I can't even remember, but something on TV I saw a few years ago, some kind of special robotic eyes that you convert sound waves or something. They're able to put it onto you, and it converts sound waves into something that shows your brain vision. So you can't see color, but you can see the 3D positioning of objects and everything.
Oh,
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's called a robotic eye or a
Pretty
bionic
interesting.
eye. Some people call it.
Something like that. Yeah. The only downside to that is obviously you can't watch TV or use computers because they're a flat surface. But you can see around you what's in the world. You can see if you're about to walk into a pole. You can see your desk and everything like that. But obviously you can't see paper. You can't see computer. So it's a step in the right direction, but it doesn't solve everything, obviously, because you can't see what is on stuff. There's only 3D objects. It's almost like being in a game with no textures kind of thing.
Yeah, hopefully they'll
Yeah.
invent something like that.
I read online somewhere that there was a sort of not really a treatment. I'm not sure what you call it, but it was something for retinitis pigmentosa patients.
Yep.
Retinitis pigmentosa is the name of my eye problems. If any of you guys don't know that, and well, basically, it like sort of re. It's hard to explain. Basically, instead of normal vision, basically the user sees in black and white, uh, and they can like tell different intensities of light, but they just can't see color. So um, so with that, the only problem is like if you go from intense dark to intense light, it kind of kills the modified cells. So you start to
What?
lose vision again. It's
That's
highly
insane.
experimental. Yeah, it's very experimental. This, and it was a long time ago that I read it, so I'm not even sure the status of it. But it's pretty cool because with that you could at least get around using a computer and stuff like that. And as long as you can see what's on screen, if it's not in color, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can see it, it's fine. That's my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, overall, I hope the best for both of you and all the sufferers in the world of vision problems. In fact, all disabilities as well, because there are so many different things out there that you know make people unable to do certain things in